Are you ready to transform? Well, step into our Busy Yogi World Studios, where we motivate, educate, and inspire you to make great lifestyle choices. It's time for a vibrant, healthier, and happier you. The KCOR Digital Radio Network welcomes you to Busy Yogi with your host, Valerie Okunami.
Good morning and namaste. Today we're going to talk about healthy relationships because they're such a vital component of our health and well-being. They can make or break us. Depends how we handle it. There's evidence that strong relationships contribute to a long and healthy and happy life, but there are health risks from being alone or isolated that are comparable to the risks associated with cigarette smoking, blood pressure, and obesity. I'm not sure if I agree with that completely. Some of us don't know what a healthy relationship looks like or feels like. We didn't have good, healthy parental role models growing up, or we came from a single parent household. So let's face it, relationships are hard, and no one ever taught us how to have a good one. Today's topic is about learning to have a healthy relationship, what to look for, what to watch out for, how to handle breakups. How not to be jaded. And we'll learn this from John Cafiero, who is a business and life coach with 30 or more years, 5 years of sales and marketing experience. He has successfully built and sold 2 businesses valued at several $1 million and now spends time helping others do the same. John strategically designs one-on-one weekly, monthly, and annual coaching programs that can be provided in person, over the phone, or through video chat to help business owners increase sales quickly rather than having them struggle to do it alone. He also helps people align with their dreams and make them a reality. A unique specialty to help clients align their life goals and dreams with their career and or business goals. He trains sales teams with proven systems for selling more in all types of businesses, and his proven techniques can be customized to fit any industry. John delivers training that engages participants with easy-to-understand strategies and practical implementation tactics based on sound selling fundamentals. John's earned a Bachelor of Science in Marketing and Management from Montclair State University. He is a lover of life, a yogi, and enjoys bringing people together in a beautiful world. John also wrote a book called Believe It and Receive It, which you can receive free by visiting his website at wecoach.com. John has a lot of wisdom when it comes to relationships because he's had a lot of them, and he's going to share it with us today. Before we meet John, let's ground our energy with this short meditation. This is an adaptation of Kabat-Zinn's classic guided meditation by Aqualis M. Gordon, PhD, found on the Psychology Today website. So here we go. Sit down and close your eyes. Rest your palms comfortably on your thighs and bring awareness to the sensations of your breath and the gentle rhythm it is creating within you, letting it be just as it is. Each inhale and exhale announcing the next. Expand your awareness to the sensations of your body. Sitting upright and with dignity, bring your attention to the surface beneath you and the support it provides. Root your body into its strength and become aware of your connection to it. Complete, whole, and in this moment. You are grounded by its unwavering resolve. As you sit there, visualize a grand mountain whose peaks pierce smoky clouds and continue upward where the air is clear and the view is endless. A mountain with slopes that are both jagged and gentle, supported by a vast foundation rooted deep in the bedrock of the earth. This mountain is a monument to all that is solid, grand, unmoving, and beautiful. Are there trees? Does snow blanket its lofty heights? Perhaps waterfalls cascading as mist into an open sky? However it is, let it be as it is, a perfect creation. Become this mountain and share in its stillness. Grounded in your posture, your head, its skyward peak, supported by the rest of your form, granting you an awe-inspiring perspective of the landscape before you, behind you, and about you, which flows from your center into the distant horizon. Be this mountain and take on its stability as your own. From the top of your crown, down your neck, and into the balance of your shoulders like cliffs, descending into your arms and forearms, and coming to rest in the valley of your hands. Be the mountain. Your feet, legs, and hips, its base, solid and rooted beneath you, a foundation extending up your spine and abdomen, a core of stability. The rhythm of your breath is all that moves you, a living mountain, alive and aware, yet unwavering in inner stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, grounded, unmovable presence. A mountain which witnesses the sun travel across the sky, casting light and shadows and colors across its consistent composure. Moment by moment, in the mountain's stillness, the surface teems with life and activity. Snows melt, streams run down its face, trees and flowers bloom and die and bloom again as the wildlife returns and departs with the seasons. Be the mountain who will be called beautiful and inspiring and dark and ominous, and knows that it is all of those things and less. Be the mountain which sits and sees how night follows day and back again, which knows the sun by the warmth it brings on rising, and the stars by the way they show in a darkened sky. Through it all, the mountain sits, aware of the changes that each moment brings around it and to it, yet it remains itself. Still, as the seasons flow one into the other, and the air swirls from hot and cold, and the weather turns from tame to turbulent, some so treacherous as they tear at its surface. Still, none of this concerns the mountain, whose serenity is housed within and cannot be disturbed by fleeting furor. In the same way, as you sit in meditation, you can learn to experience the mountain as a means to embody the same centered, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of all that changes in your life over seconds and hours and years. Like the mountain, you will experience the changing nature of your mind and body and of the world around you. You will have periods varying in intensity of darkness and light, of activity and inactivity, and moments that fill your life with color. Through it all, be the mountain and call on its patient strength and stability within you. Let it empower you to encounter each moment with mindful composure and compassionate clarity. Good. Slowly open your eyes. Good morning, John.
Hey, Valerie, thanks for having me back on. I love your introduction. Many relationships.
Yeah, I think we fail our way into success, right?
Of course, you set me up big here. I've been married twice, just for full disclosure, and I raised my two boys, my two beautiful boys myself, with no help from their mom, and it was a struggle. I'm not going to tell you, and I've been I've been beat up along the way in relationships, but I believe that everything and everyone that comes into your life is supposed to, and we may not always see the reasons why, but there's always a blessing in all of it. There's no accidents in our absolute perfect universe, and everyone we meet, like I said, is for a reason. We can either take advantage of that or choose to see the positive or just be buried by the negative in it. So I always choose to pull out of it in a positive way, and it's a new learning experience for me. So yes, many life experiences, but made me stronger.
Well, I've had so many relationships that I've chosen to not have them anymore. So that's another end of the spectrum that maybe we should tap into, because I'm actually happier without one.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
You had said that it makes you unhealthy being alone, and I think I believe that in some way. It's good to have your alone time too, and certainly to re-heal again after a bad breakup. But however, I think as humans we are meant to have a companion. We are meant to have someone to share life with, to laugh with, to grow with, to do things with, and enjoy and experience life together. I do believe that to some extent, and loneliness does hurt sometimes, and everybody's a little different to a little different degree of that as well.
Yeah, I agree, but I just think it depends on the person.
Of course.
It all depends on the person. But most of us love to be in a relationship. It feels good, and you're right. I think we are social animals, and yeah, it's part of the plan. Yeah, but anyway, we've all been in unhealthy relationships. That's for sure. I know.
Yeah. So that's
so
the part
how do
like.
you?
Nobody
some get out of it unscathed and cut their losses, but others stay in it. People stay in unhealthy relationships and get their asses kicked. So why do you think
no doubt.
Why do you think some people have good relationships and others seem to be train wrecks? Picking the wrong partner over and over again.
Well, Valerie, no doubt. The answer is very simple. You just said it. There's so many marriages. There's 50% of marriages don't last in the U.S. alone. The average divorce rate of subsequent marriages is even higher. Average marriage lasts only 8 years. And look at our society today, with the advent of dating sites. There's even dating sites for married people looking to cheat.
Yeah, I know.
I don't, AshleyMadison.com, I don't want to mention websites, 46 million users. It's sick in 45 different countries. That's crazy. So why do marriages and relationships fail? Yeah, you just said it. People are picking the wrong mate. And I think I finally figured this out why. And a lot of people maybe don't realize this. Let me explain. Society has taught us that a healthy relationship, there must be a balance between the two, a 50-50 type deal or relationship, a give and take, right? That's what we've told. Even in yoga, as a fellow yogi, we practice balance moves. But to properly balance without falling, you can't focus on the balance part. You can't say to yourself, I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to fall. Because if you do that in yoga, you're going to fall. And the same thing happens in relationships. So instead, we need to focus on a point forward of us, a place that we'd like to be, to focus on the inside of us. And that's how we get proper balance in yoga. And the same holds true in a relationship. You can't focus on the balance. So to me, a healthy relationship is not 50-50 like we've been brought up to do. That never works, because in a 50-50 relationship, it's constantly monitored by both parties. It's a give and take. One person starts feeling like they're doing more, so they're going to back off now. Now the other person will come in and say, well, you're not doing it, then I'm not going to do it. And it's just, then your partner will notice this backing down, and he or she will just, compensate for this perceived indifference. So this never works, this give and take. And I believe that there's generally two types of people, just two. And there's, of course, varied degrees, differences in these two types of people. There's givers and takers in the world. So I believe the only way a relationship will truly work is when you have two true givers, two absolute givers. It's more of an old-fashioned type mindset where you see society's become so fast and furious that the need for change and ease of it all, with the advent of dating sites and varied types of social media platforms and all the immediate access to seek out something different. When one problem goes wrong, it's so easy today to just go on to find something different. And it's the only way, I think, is to get away from that 50-50 mindset and understand that it's more so about giving 100%, all of you, all in, looking forward, looking like in yoga, where you won't fall, you won't fail when both parties are true givers. Now, this in lies that there's a big problem in this, because as we get older, the true givers of the world are either all taken by another, they're living happily ever after, or they've become tainted along the way, because they've maybe been in a bad situation. They've had their ass kicked, as you said before, and now they're a little backed off on being a true giver anymore. And now they're not putting their whole heart in because they don't want to get hurt again. This is our mindset. This all goes back to fear. It's all what I write about in my book. And without that all-in attitude, you're gonna be set up for failure, because it's all in or nothing, really, in a true giving relationship. That's my thought. There's, as we get older, there's just more slim pickings, like I said. So it just makes it harder to find the right person, to find the right person. Pickings. There's slim pickings out there. Yeah, to be on dating sites, whoo, you meet some crazy people out there. It's just, I could write a book about it.
It could be a full-time job.
We could talk for the next hour on the crazy people that I've met, but we're not going to go there today. But there's some really crazy people with demented ideas of how a relationship should be. But I'm more old-fashioned. I believe in honesty. I did a poll on my Facebook just the other day. I asked everyone, what is the number one thing that you won't tolerate in a relationship, and the critical must-do thing for it to be lasting? Everyone wrote the same thing, maybe different words, but the same thing. No one will tolerate lies. And the one thing that is critical is honesty, the opposite of a lie. So it's just, a lot of lying people out there, a lot of dishonesty. And we know this. And again, the divorce rate over 50%.
It's very high. I'm wondering, though, what your opinion is on how social media is affecting relationships today.
Okay. Well, again, it's not social media that makes someone cheat. It makes it more easier, but, people have cheated over the years, and I would never, that's just not how I was raised or brought up. But I guess it makes it easier. So people are more, it creates jealousy if someone's, on your profile or writing you secretly. There's other apps and stuff too. It makes it easier for the person to stray if there's a problem. And we're in a society of now. Everybody wants something now. So if there's unhappiness now, let me find something better. They think the grass is greener on the other side instead of focusing on who they fell in love with in the first place.
Well, I just think social media affects our ability to have, to practice good interpersonal communication, face to face with another person.
It does.
It's easy to, especially kids nowadays. I think it's harder for them to start a relationship because they don't really understand how to interact just on a one-on-one basis.
I agree fully. Same with dating sites, the same thing. It's just that it takes away, I don't like chatting back and forth. If I'm on a dating site looking for someone to get into a relationship with, I'd say, let's go meet for coffee. Let's go meet for a drink. Because this is, some people don't want to do that right out of the gate. They want to, play a whole bunch of people at the same time. And you can't possibly get to know someone without meeting them face to face and just feeling their energy, and just being in a room together with them and talking at regular old fashioned. Again, it goes back to old fashioned values and just meeting them first face to face.
No, I agree with that. So why do you think so many relationships fail today? Why is there such a high divorce rate and breakup rate? And is it because there is a lack of commitment, or because people just want it to be easy all the time? Because face it, if you want a good relationship, it's a lot of work, to keep that balance point there. You're constantly having to give and take and give and take, it's a constant.
It goes back to what I said. It really needs to be all giving all the time, really, not give and take. There should be no take in a relationship. You shouldn't be taking from anyone, really, in your life. Your friends, your family, should be no taking. It should just be giving without expectation. And that's how it fully works. And the number one quality in a person that's required in a happy, healthy relationship is to be fully available. The word available means to me not just physically available, because some people are out there just to cheat on their spouse, but mentally available, spiritually available, emotionally available. Let's use the example of a glass of water that's half full or half empty, and we all know what that means. But however, let's take that same glass of water filled halfway. People that have been tarnished because of the past relationships carry this half full or half empty glass around with them because they have yet to let go completely, or they have built walls to try to protect themselves. So imagine holding this glass, physically holding a glass in your hands of water. You could probably do fine, with no problems for a few minutes. But as the hours or days go by, or weeks or months or years, you'd start to feel some pain in your arm from holding that weight constantly, bringing it with you wherever you go. It's going to throw your balance off, and you will fall or fail, and you'll be in pain. You would not be fully available to be in the next relationship. Just same with a relationship. People are holding on. They're not letting go fully. They're not accepting. They're not able to fully give anymore. And that's why they're carrying this glass around with them. They're carrying their past around with them, whether they realize it or not. And that's the part that you really have to fix first before you can go into a new give relationship where there is no taking. It's the only way, again, my opinion, that this really works. But availability is the key to success of a relationship.
So
I've been on. Go ahead.
You recommend becoming whole again, if you ever were in the first place, before embarking on another relationship.
Exactly. If you ever were in the first place, like I said, there's not a lot of givers in the world. I don't know what the statistics are in that, but you definitely need to, if you were in a relationship and you were a true giver, you need to fix that part first. You need to fix yourself first and get whole again, so you are able to give unconditionally. Unconditional love is the only way a relationship will work. It has to be unconditional. There's no conditions. Obviously, there's conditions of society and general rules of respect and love and understanding and compassion for the other person, but it has to be unconditional.
Yeah, I just think today there's too much of a victim mentality, and not enough of a victor mentality. And it's all like, oh, me, poor me. And frankly, I'm getting a little sick of it. It's like, quit whining.
And
step up.
That's what we talked about the last time I was on your show. We talked about the law of attraction, which again, my book, Believe It and Receive It, Turn Your Dreams into Reality, is all about, is the law of attraction. What energy you project out to the universe, out to the world, is what you will receive back. When people say, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Why does the same situation always come to me? It's because that's the attitude, that's the energy that they're putting those vibrations out into the world, and they're attracting onto that. Misery loves company, so you're going to attract miserable if you're thinking miserable, if you're feeling miserable. Whatever emotions that you project is what you're going to receive back. That's why you're getting that back.
Interesting. So it also perpetuates itself, I think. So how do you stop and start over? I think you have to spend a little bit of time alone. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about relationships with John Cafiero, the expert.
This is Busy Yogi with Valerie Okunami, exploring lifestyle choices for a vibrant, healthier, and happier you. Live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. We would love you to become part of the show by calling 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio, or follow along with us on our live chat at kcorradio.com. More from within our virtual studio after this.
We interrupt to bring you this. Would you like to advertise on KCOR Digital Radio Network?
This is what I'm talking about.
At a fraction of the cost of traditional radio advertising, why not?
Tell them the good news.
Whether you need to promote your next book, product, or service, we can customize a package for just about any budget.
Finally, there is hope for the hopeless.
Why limit yourself to a tiny local market when KCOR can brand you to the world?
Here's all you do.
Visit KCORradio.com or contact our sales department by email at saleskcorradio.com.
We want it now!
See the difference with us by letting us work for you.
This ain't reality TV!
The KCOR Digital Radio Network.
Live for 3 hours every Saturday night. It's a show that engages the mind, makes you think, and maybe even challenge what you think you know. Hi, I'm Jeremy Scott of Into the Paranormal, where we talk about topics that are anything but mainstream, somewhere between abnormal and paranormal. Bring an open mind and join us for Into the Paranormal, live Saturdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
If ever a breed was affectionate to a fault, it's the Golden Retriever. They're people dogs, pure and simple. And the Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada needs your help. If you would like to volunteer, foster, adopt, or donate, go to the Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada's website at grrsn.org. That's grrsn.org. Or call 598-GOLD. That's 598-GOLD.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is your captain. I'd like to welcome you on Jackpot Airlines Flight 1610, service to Lost Wages.
They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, apparently, they need a reality check done Vegas style.
Vegas, 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 Vegas.
Tune in Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, for Reality Check, hosted by Jessica Johns, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
Biggest star in the world, bigger than Britney and Christina put together.
If it's happening on the Vegas Strip, you'll know about it here first.
You are a dirty little fun haver.
Join Jessica Johns as she explores and goes behind the scenes of what's hot and what's not. From the best entertainment Vegas has to offer to national celebrity gossip.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Jessica has her finger on the heartbeat of the city, and she's waiting to share it with you. Reality Check, hosted by Jessica Johns. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern. She does Vegas right.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome back to the Busy Yogi Studios. The KCOR Digital Radio Network hotline number is now open, 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio. Tweet your comments anytime to KCOR using the hashtag KCOR. Join the conversation live and share your thoughts of the show in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com. Now, back to your source for the best in trends and topics for balancing your mind, body, and spirit. Busy Yogi with Valerie Okunami.
We're back with John Cafiero talking about relationships. This could be like a month-long show. There's so much to talk about. But anyway, so before the break, we talked about, why relationships fail, what makes relationships good. But now I think it's important to talk about overcoming breakups, how not to be jaded, how to heal after a bad breakup, so you can be fully present in your next one and not lug around the baggage.
Yeah,
even if it's packed nicely
critical.
And neatly, it's still baggage.
Yeah, that's so critical, Valerie. It's so critical. So how to heal and let go again. I have a lot of experience in this because I've been through many, like you said. Number one thing I do after a breakup is I take a break, reassess. It's like you're at halftime in a football game. You didn't lose yet. You want to take a assess, see where you are in your life, and focus on you again. And it's okay to cry. I've been there before. It's okay to feel the hurt, to feel used, to feel banged up, but you do need to pick yourself up. It's like when you fall off a bicycle, you got to get up, brush yourself off, and get back out there. So the way I do that is I write. I'm a writer, so I get up every day. I write very inspirational stuff, as some of you know, and in my book and all. But as far as breakups go, it's quite the opposite. I actually write sad songs. I sing a little bit, but I've been writing song lyrics for over 30 years, and I have hundreds and hundreds of songs, most of them sad, most of the opposite of what I normally write. So that's what I do. I work on myself. I see, what did I learn from this relationship? What can I pull out of it? And I get it out of me. And that's my release. I do that to release it from me. Other things I do, and I would recommend to do, yoga really helped me after my second divorce. I was married twice. Yoga helps me, and it really helps me a lot. Like today, I was yoga this morning. I'll be back in the yoga studio again tonight. I love yoga. It really helps ground me, helps me to figure out where I am again, so I can feel good. I feel good physically, spiritually, emotionally. It just, and that's what I would recommend to anybody through a breakup. Don't just sit and feel sorry for yourself. Get it out. Let it go. You know, that's why I write sad songs. I get it out of me. That's my means of getting it outside of me.
I think some of the best artwork.
Now it's over there.
Some of the best artwork, like songs and paintings and things, come from extreme pain. I mean, if you look at most of the major musical artists today, they have kind of horrific backgrounds, really. And the stuff that comes out of it is unbelievable. So it almost like, in order to make something beautiful, you have to have the inspiration for it. It's usually some kind of an extreme emotion, don't you think?
Exactly.
Just
absolutely. Listen, no relationship is without pain and struggles. None. There's no perfect relationship. You cannot grow without pain either. You cannot develop strength without that resistance, without challenging yourself, without this pain. Pain, I look as pain as my friend. You know, a lot of people pain and say, poor me, you know, and go around these other people that will say, poor you. You know, maybe not in the moment, pain it doesn't feel good, but for the evolution of your soul and for your life, for the long-term benefit of you as a stronger human being, pain is your friend. And you have to look at it that way. You don't have failures, you don't just have failures or struggles or disappointment. You can't have strength, courage, compassion without failure, struggle, disappointment, because it's those qualities that are made from pain and struggle. That's how you get those good qualities out of you. So I take that stuff, I put it out of me, but I also learn, and now I build myself stronger again. And every relationship will have to endure hardship and pain at some point, but you have to keep in mind that the struggle together is what will be critical to make you stronger as a couple, is when you work together instead of, going the route of, maybe cheating or doing something else like that. That's the wrong approach. You fell in love for a reason. I assume that it was a good reason. Focus on yourself. And that's where the work comes in, working on yourself, but working as a team too. And if it doesn't work, life's short. There's no sense in staying in a relationship either that's going to be nonstop pain. If people are not meant, I think people get into relationships maybe a little too quick. I've been guilty of that myself.
Yeah, I just think what they're doing is they haven't healed yet. They're still bleeding, and they just look at the next relationship as a Band-Aid. So the wound never heals, and they just go from one to the next and, wounded, and just bringing that with them. So how important do you think your parents' relationship affects your
my dad's deceased. I miss my dad dearly. They passed away about 3.5 years ago. Very different people too, but very much the same, because they both were givers. They both true givers, but yet different. See, being a giver doesn't mean you're the same, and I don't believe opposites attract too much either. Like, they weren't totally different. They were both madly in love with one another, married 57 years, God bless them. And my mom misses him terribly right now. But they both had that mentality that we are together. We have a family. And it really was a beautiful growing up around that surrounding. And there's nothing I want more in my life is to have what my mom and dad had. So, someone in a situation like you mentioned earlier, growing up as a single parent, even my kids, that, they grew up just with me. And it's tough. I feel for all the single parents out there. It's very tough to be a single parent. And this is going to sound sexist, Valerie, but I think it's even a little bit tougher to be a single parent as a man. And I don't mean it to be sexist. Let me explain. A woman is a natural nurturer. That baby was a part of them for 9 months. And that's the part that they missed out on. I did my very best to be their mommy and their daddy, but it's not easy to be a single parent. And to grow up, I try to teach them values and all. They're really good kids. I'm really blessed with my 2 boys. So far so good. One's 19, one's 17. So hopefully they find the true love and understand, maybe they see my pain too. They've seen that pain. They've seen me crying. They've seen me, in my struggles. So I'm hoping they learn from that as well, and they can take that forward and find their perfect soulmate for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's kind of strange. Like, you can have 3 kids that come from the exact same environment, the same parents, and come out completely different. All 3 can be completely different. So it's hard to say, I guess, who would end up having a good relationship and who's going to be a train wreck.
Other factors come into play too. I mean, people that they hang around with, friends, with peer pressures and growing up and being around different things, making different choices. Sometimes we just make a mistake. We just screw up. We make a mistake, and I've made my share of those mistakes, and I'm not one that gives up easily. And sometimes that's to my own detriment too. It's not always a good quality to not give up. Sometimes I look back and why did I stay so long in that abusive relationship? I should have, why didn't I just get out of it? But I don't give up, and that's, sometimes that's something you do have to say to yourself, like, this is your life and you need to live it your way. You have to own your life and live the life that makes you happy first. Because if you don't have that happiness in you, there's no way you're going to make someone else happy. You're not going to change someone. You're not going to fix them. A lot of people think they can fix or repair and change someone else. You can't. That just doesn't work like that. They have to want to do it.
They have to
make a change.
Yeah, hopefully, the next person you're with has done a lot of their own soul searching and is somewhat self-aware. I think self-awareness is huge. So how do you choose a good relationship now? So let's talk about how your some of your dates have stacked up to.
My dating. Now we're getting personal here, Valerie.
Share some stories.
I could write a book, or we could talk for hours on the crazy people that there are in this world. I mean, there's. I believe there's 3 types of crazy too. There's batshit crazy. There's and we don't have to just define that. There's bad crazy. There's people that out there that are just out to cheat. They're out to hurt people. They're out to put people down. Bad crazy. And then there's what I like to classify myself as, and what I'm looking for is good crazy. Good crazy meaning just, a little bit up and above, goes out of their way to really, I'm a very romantic guy, and I really, put my whole heart and soul into a relationship always. And that's how I play it. But I've met some crazy people. I can tell you, you're making me think of some crazy first dates. In the music industry, they have one-hit wonders, where a band has one hit. Well, I call it one-date wonders. And it's those kind of dates that I come home afterwards and I say, I wonder what just happened there. And I'll give you one example that's making me laugh right now. I met this woman. This was a couple of years ago. And we met at a little steakhouse back in Jersey, back when I was there. And we really hit it off. I mean, we had a great conversation. It was like a Wednesday night. And the waiters and waitresses were, flickering the lights, wanted us to leave. We're the only ones left in there. She finally says to me, I really like you. I would love to see you again. I said the same thing back to her. She's like, but I got to tell you something. I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. Here it comes. So she said to me, I was dating this guy. I was living with him and I got pregnant, but then lost the baby. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And she said, we were trying and trying and trying. And she got artificially inseminated because she really wanted to have a baby and loved this guy, and lost the baby again. And of course I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. But then she proceeded to tell me that this guy broke up with her because he saw that as a sign that they were not meant to be with one another. And he really wanted to have a baby too. So she wanted to know, really loved me, really wanted to see me again rather. And she said, would it be okay next Wednesday, I'm going to get artificially inseminated again with my ex-boyfriend's sperm. Would it be okay if we were to see each other while I'm pregnant? And I looked at her and I said, you're telling me you're going to get pregnant with your ex-boyfriend's sperm and you want to be in a relationship with me? I said, no, thank you. That's not for me. It's just, there's a lot of crazy situations.
At least she asked. And
she did ask. Yeah, it's different. I've been with someone that had, a very young baby before, and that's okay. But like, that was a little off the wall. I got some crazier stories than that. I've
got a question for you. Donna
Sure.
on Skype, she says she just got divorced and it wasn't her choice and she's still in love with her ex. She wants to know how you move on to someone new when your heart still feels your ex is your soulmate. She keeps comparing dates to her ex and they don't measure up, and she says, I still feel like I'm cheating even though we have been divorced for over 2 years. She needs help.
Yeah, and that's tough, Donna. That's something that, you have to, really do some soul searching, some healing, take some time for yourself, find some kind of exercise for yourself, some kind of art form, something to take your mind off of that and really figure out who you are and what's going to make you happy. And that person's out there. He's out there, just when you think it doesn't happen, there's someone that's going to be equal or better. You will find that man. It's just, you have to stay positive. You can't stay in the negative. It all goes back to the law of attraction, where, if you stay in that negative, you're going to keep attracting the wrong person for you, and they won't compare. You can't compare. Nobody's going to compare. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. You're going to find someone new that compliments you and builds you up. And that's what you need to look for and focus on yourself and your inner healing.
Yeah, and give yourself a little more time. I think that, I don't know how long you were married, but sometimes 2 years isn't long enough. I know some people, it's taken them a long time before they were able to have another relationship. So I think, patience with yourself is really important, and to learn to be patient and actually be okay with feeling like crap, which is hard. It's easy to run to food or booze or another relationship to fill the void, when in fact you are the only one that can fill it. And there are different ways to do that. And John said, like artwork, or you could do exercise or whatever. But if you can get busy with doing things that make you happy, then I think it would help a lot when you find the next person. That's just my opinion.
Another thing.
Oh, 19 years. She was married 19 years. That explains it, because 2 years is really not a long time. I read a statistic once where it's like for every year you were together with somebody, it takes like 4 years to get over them.
Well,
I don't know if that's true.
That's not the case. I don't know about that. Let's hope not. Real bad breakups, Donna, and everyone, maybe sometimes counseling, coaching, books, support groups, meetups, get out there, talk to people that've been in that situation before. The best way for us to learn about anything, even I'm a business coach and a life coach, the best way to grow is to learn from someone that has done it before. You don't have to figure this all out by yourself. Go to counseling, go to a coach, go to a support group to talk with people that have been there in your situation. You're not the only one, and don't think that you are. You're not. I mean, I've been through some bad breakups myself, and it took some healing. It took some, personal power from within me to really dig myself out of that. And that's why I write sad songs. I got to get the sad out of me. You have to get the sad out of you first before you can possibly start to go dating and being happy in a new relationship. You have to be fully 100% in giver, like we talked about in the beginning. And if you're subdued, if you're back, if you've got some of that left out, it's not really going to work. It's not going to work for you. So you got to get that out of you so you can be fully. You got to get that cup that you have that's half full or half empty and throw it out of your hands. And now you're ready with your arms open wide.
Oh, that was great advice. I wish somebody told me that when I got a divorce.
Yeah. Wish someone told me that when I got a divorce too. I had to figure that out the hard way, but you don't have to figure it out the hard way when there's people that have been there before you.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for, is to help each other.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so get with a good support group, or I'm sure there's meetups for people who've been married for a long time going through a divorce, because that is tough. It's very tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely.
But you'll get through it. I know you will. So let's talk more about what. So tell me the worst first date you've ever had.
The worst dating experience I ever had.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it. It's a recent one, and I can't talk about it.
Oh,
It was
okay.
really,
Yeah.
really bad. That was probably my worst one. Was the last one I was just in. It was based on 100% lies to multiple people on multiple fronts, on multiple things. I can't talk about it for reasons, but that was the worst one. I wish I could talk about it because you would be like your jaw would drop, but I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it.
So let's change.
Bad.
Yeah.
There's some bad people out there. Just like I said, there's some, there's bad crazy, and this was a bad crazy one.
It wasn't batshit crazy?
No, batshit crazy needs to be, maybe medicated. I mean, maybe it's a little touch of that too, I would say. But
I was married.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was married to batshit crazy who wouldn't take medication.
So was I.
Who wouldn't take
So was I.
medication.
That was my first wife. This last relationship and my second wife was bad crazy. And again, the definition of bad crazy would be someone that's just got evil in them, someone that's got hatred in them, someone that's just out to hurt someone else. That's a player, and not in it 100%. Said that they were. I believe that they were. And really, I was fooled, and it's really, really shocking to find that out, that it's so much based on a lie. You can't lie in a relationship. Like we said, I did the poll. What's the number one thing that people won't tolerate is a lie. Once a liar, always a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I don't know what you want to say, but it doesn't work in a relationship. You can't lie. You have to be honest, and you have to be honest with yourself too, of who you are. You can't just say you're a giver and you're not really a giver. You have to truly be a giver and be there for that person and be everything that you say you are, and be able to provide for that person to make them feel good about themselves, and they do the same for you. And that's the way this works. The hard part is finding that person. That's for another show.
Yeah, so I have a question for you. I think a lot of people get confused with physical attraction and actually a good relationship.
Yeah. Physical attraction to me is somewhat important too. I'm very physically fit. I'm very active, so I like somebody that has energy. I eat healthy. I wouldn't want to be with somebody that likes to go to McDonald's every day. I don't go to McDonald's. I eat very healthy. I like to do things. I like to go places. I like to travel. I like to hop on the bike and go for a bike ride or walk on the beach. I live right by the beach here. Physical, not just physical attraction, but just physical fitness is important to me. I would think for anybody. It doesn't make me shallow, I don't think. It's just my lifestyle. It matches my lifestyle. Same with emotional. Emotional should have the same kind of attraction. Spiritual, same kind of attraction as physical. It's just all those elements just have to all fall together. And then when all those things line up and you got two givers, it's your soulmate. That's someone that you can become one with. Soulmate is someone that you love unconditionally, and they feel the same way for you. They'll do the same for you. That's to me is the best thing. One time a while ago, a couple of years ago, I meditate a lot, and I discovered what my soulmate would look like. And this was after my divorce. I put together a physical list. I wrote down all the qualities I truly desired that I needed for me, to complement my life, to complete my life, to make it, to share my life with this person. And that's, I have that. So I recommend doing that, writing out the qualities. And we learn what those qualities are from our mistakes, from our past poor relationships. What we don't want, we can figure out what we do want. It's pretty obvious, when you start analyzing it. But people don't do the work. You got to do the work. You got to write it out. Do the work. Do the work on yourself, to your inner self.
Yeah, and sometimes you can learn. Okay, well, let me back up. You can learn. The only way to learn about yourself is through an intimate relationship. And I say this because, people they break up or they get a divorce and then they do all this work. They go to workshops and they go to self-healing things and they do whatever they do, lose 100 pounds, whatever. But you don't know how much you've healed until you put the pedal to the metal and have another relationship. And that's when you can see if you've made any progress. Yeah. So, I just see a lot of people who do all this like healing and then they never do anything with it. But anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's working on yourself, getting, brushing your pants off, your knees off when you fall off that bicycle, and getting back out there, but being strong first before you just jump back on the bike. You have to have your mind right, your physical being right, your whole, I meditate, so that's how I get through a lot of things. I meditate every morning. I do it again at night. I learn what I'm grateful for in me and what areas I need to work on. So, I don't position myself for, a future hurt. I try to do that, but without putting fear in there, because fear will prevent you. Fear will stop you. Fear will possibly ruin future relationships that maybe could have been quite beautiful. But with fear, it just prevents us from being a true giver like maybe we used to be. So you have to get back to that position of yourself of being a true giver again, being not so fearful. And be cautious, because there's crazies out there. You got to watch the different crazy types, but you do have to be, fully available in all aspects, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, yourself, before you can possibly commit to another human being and share your life with them.
John, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show again to share your experience. And I hope you'll come back again. I really appreciate it.
I love it. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, Valerie. It was always a pleasure.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Bye now.
So if you have an idea for a show, that was actually a really good show. Reach out to me at busyyogi@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, consider making a donation to this show, Busy Yogi, on this network, the best network, kcorradio.com. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others. If you need to know what I've got going on, you can check out my website at busyyogi.com. Until next time, like I said, be careful for crazies. It's Halloween season. Namaste.
Thank you for listening to Busy Yogi, hosted by Valerie Okunami. Live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. For more information on lifestyle choices for a vibrant, healthier, and happier you, please visit her website at valerieokonami.com. Until next week, remain true to oneself. Namaste.
This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network. Broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51. Wait, that doesn't exist. This is the KCOR